What's going on, guys? Khosh here, coming back at you with another video, and today's video is going to be about the best beginner keybinds for people switching to keyboard and mouse. I'm going to be showing you guys the best sensitivity, the best DPI, the best keybinds for building, editing, fighting, and piece control. I'm going to be going over a lot in this video, so make sure you watch the whole thing through and make sure you drop a sub with noties. I'd appreciate it a lot. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is how it's really important to get one set of binds and stick to them. Once you get your good binds that you like, you need to stick to those because you're not going to improve if you're constantly switching your binds. I know this from experience. There's so many different binds that you have to think about on this game, and when you're constantly switching your binds around, you're not able to build muscle memory, and you're not able to play efficiently and play quickly when you don't have the muscle memory. So when you're making optimal keybinds on Fortnite, you need to consider a few things. First, you want to have all of your movement keys available when you're pressing your builds, and second, you want to have an edit key on your keyboard that you can press easily. A lot of people like to have their edit key on F or E, and I think that's a great idea. Those are the best keys that you can possibly use for it. As for using your mouse buttons as an edit bind, I really don't think you should use it. I have a lot of experience using mouse buttons as your edit bind, and it really messes your mouse button up and it can break your mouse. As for double edit binds, I don't think you should use those either because I think they're definitely pointless. I think single edit on your keyboard on F or E with edit on release is the best thing that you can use. The next thing that's super important and honestly really underrated, people don't talk about this a lot, is having a good shotgun bind. Having a good shotgun bind is like one of the most important things that you need in this game. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many crazy builds and edits you do. If you pull up to someone after doing a crazy edit course and you don't pull out your shotgun fast enough after doing your last edit, they're going to turn around and one pump you. So you might be thinking, how am I qualified to give you the best binds for this game and what you need to get good at this game? Well, first, I was recruited to Parallel for being one of the best builders, and second, I've played on all different kinds of keybinds for both inputs. As you can see right now, I play controller as well. On controller, I played claw, non-claw, paddles, no paddles, I've done everything, and I've played good on all of them. You can go back in my videos and watch it. But for keyboard, I've also changed my binds a lot too. I played on all different kinds of binds, a bunch of different kinds of edit buttons, double edit binds. I've changed my build binds multiple times, and I think I figured out what is the best thing that you can use. Next on the list is double movement. Double movement is a little bit of a weird one. I think it's really good for fighting and it makes piece control a lot easier on keyboard. However, it adds a bit of input delay and it makes it a little bit harder to move your mouse quickly. Double movement also has a very large skill gap and a very high skill ceiling for being able to build fast and move fast with double movement on. It makes it a little bit more difficult to move around while you're building, and if you hold your movement keys a little bit too much, you're going to end up losing a lot of momentum. I definitely think that it's a fun thing to try. However, when you're first starting out keyboard and mouse, you definitely want to just learn how to play the game normally. Also, a lot of people like to ask the question, what are the best keybinds without mouse buttons? And I don't think that you can get good keybinds without mouse buttons. I think they're really important for this game, and you need those two extra binds to be able to make your binds optimal. My advice to those people though would be to buy a $15 mouse or learn to use C and V with your thumb so you can keep your pointer finger off builds and keep them on your movement key and your edit key. And now finally, let's get into my settings. For my resolution, I play 1798 by 1080. I think this is one of the best stretch resolutions because it gives you all the advantages of stretch without taking as much FOV away. For my frame rate limit, I have it set to 237 inside of my config, and that's why it shows 60 FPS here. For my brightness and colorblind, I have it set to 100% in Deuteronote 4. I like Deuteronote 4 because I feel like it's the softest colorblind on your eyes, and you still get the colorblind advantages from it as well. For my 3D resolution, I have it set to 86% because when you have it set to a lower 3D resolution, it gives you more frames because it's loading less pixels into your game. 86% is kind of the sweet spot for not taking as much pixels away from your game and making it look bad and giving you the most input delay and FPS possible. Moving on to my graphics settings, I have my view distance on near and my textures set to medium because the game is more optimized on medium textures than it is on low. I have the auto download high resolution textures and all of this stuff off. And for my performance mode, I play performance mode alpha with high meshes. Now for sensitivity. Sensitivity is all personal preference. However, right now, I'm going to give you guys the best sensitivity range that you want to play for builds and edits and also having good aim. You want to be playing anywhere in the range from 800 DPI 8% to 800 DPI 15%. And this is the widest range that you want to go. You can go below 8%, but you definitely don't want to go above 15% or it's going to be too hard to aim. I think that it's really important not to go with too high of a sensitivity because your aim won't transfer over to other games. And with Fortnite, tracking is really important and you won't even notice it. You're going to be tracking with your shotgun aim, not only with your AR and SMG aim as well. A lot of people might also be asking, what is the best DPI that I should play? Well, in my opinion, the best DPI all comes down to preference. The higher your DPI is, the smoother your mouse is, and the lower it is, the more choppier it is. The higher sensitivity you play on the lower DPI, the choppier your mouse is going to be. However, for Fortnite, I think the sweet spot DPI is 1600 because it makes your mouse feel smooth while still getting that accurate mouse control that you need for this game to get sharp edits and good movement. I think that if you want to become a GOAT on KBN, can, you need to pick a reasonable sensitivity and start aim training every day. Aim is so underrated in what you need to do now, and I think it's one of the most important aspects of gaming these days. If you can have good aim, you can be good on any game. For sound settings, there's not much that I do, but I think it's really important that you have these two settings on because this game has terrible sound quality and terrible directional quality. You need to have your sound quality on high and your 3D headphones on. This is because it's going to let you hear in directional way better. If you have your sound quality on low, it gives you the cool shotgun sound and stuff, but it takes away your directional audio and it's really bad. All right, now moving into the good stuff, the binds. So let's go straight to the weapon binds. Weapon binds generally can all be on your numbers. That's not a big deal. However, if your middle finger scroll wheel, which is one of the best things that you can do for this game, scroll wheel up is the best shotgun bind that you can use. I also like to use Q as an alternative shotgun bind because it can be really easy to press. I also like to have my harvesting tool as my little press in button for my scroll wheel. I think it's really efficient and you can press it at any time, so it's very useful. Now finally, moving on to my build binds. As you can see, these are relatively standard build binds, but I'm going to give you guys some variations that you can use depending on what kind of keyboard grip that you use. With my wall and stair, I have them both on my mouse button, and these are interchangeable on which mouse button they should be on. It doesn't really matter which one they're on, it's just whatever's comfortable to you. For my floor, I have it on shift, and for my roof, I have it on V or E. So if you use your thumb to press V and C, you should definitely do that. It's one of the best things that you can do because then you'll only have to use your pointer finger for your movement keys and your edit bind. However, if you don't use your thumb for V, you can still put your roof on E and then interchange it between your floor or your roof, depending on what you're comfortable with. E is very close to F and it's way easier to press than V because you don't have to bring your finger down from V up back to D and F and E all together. And lastly, I'm just going to look at a couple ins and outs. I have my pink place marker pretty far from all of my buttons, and I don't have it on my mouse because if you have it on your middle mouse scroll wheel button, you're going to end up pressing it by accident a lot and it's going to bother you. I also think that you should definitely don't use this toggle harvesting tool button. This bind is actually really laggy and it'll make you pull out your pickaxe a lot slower than if you were just having it on your harvesting tool bind. I think that a lot of people actually do use this and it's not good. So I definitely think that these are the best binds that you can possibly use right now. I base these binds off of all of the professional players binds and all of the best builders binds that I know of in the community, and I think that if you're able to learn on these binds, these are the only ones that you're ever going to need to use. I also don't think that these binds are the end all be all though for your Fortnite binds. I think that it's okay to have different binds than these and to switch them around a little bit and still try things that you like. It's not going to be the end of the world. However, I think that you should base them around these because these are the most standard, the most optimal ones that you can use. If you guys like the video and I can help you out at all, please remember to like and subscribe. It would help me out a ton. I'm trying to continue to make more good videos like this in the future. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Khosh out.